talked about the shooting of Mr. Blake. He's talked about violence at protests in the wake of it. I'm wondering why you think that is that he hasn't actually addressed it. There's obviously a lot we do not know about the circumstances around it, but the video obviously has been out there.
Well, look, I don't know enough to know whether that 17-year-old kid exactly what he did, but allegedly he's part of a militia coming out of the state of Illinois. Have you ever heard this president say one negative thing about white supremacists? Have you ever heard it?
Racism is evil, and those who cause violence in its name are criminals and thugs, including the KKK, neo-Nazis, white supremacists, and other hate groups that are repugnant to everything we hold dear as Americans.
That's the reason I got back in this race, because of what happened in Charlottesville. People coming out of the woods carrying torches, their veins bulging. Close your eyes and remember what you saw. And a young woman gets killed resisting the hate and violence, and the president gets asked to comment on it. What's he say?
Putting what you're calling the alt-left and white supremacists on the same moral plane.
I'm not putting anybody on a moral plane.
He says they're very fine people on both sides.
And you had people, and I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis and the white nationalists, because they should be condemned totally.
He wouldn't even condemn David Duke, for God's sake.
How many times do I have to reject? I've rejected David Duke. When I put out that I reject KKK and David Duke, nobody picks it up. You know why they don't? Because they don't want to pick it up.
The former Grand Kleagle.
As also noted, Robert C. Byrd was a parliamentary library, a keeper of the institution of the Senate, and he was the institution itself. But to me, and many people here today, like guys I see, Bill Bradley and Jim Sasser, who've long left the Senate for greener pastures, and I hope better remuneration. We used to kid about that too, but for a lot of us, he was a friend, and he was a mentor, and he was a guide.